Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the third episode of Resume Roast. So it's super chilly in Delhi, and we feel that we need to roast something to keep up with the temperature. And today we would be roasting some product resumes. So I have Rashmi and Subhendu with me, the masters of resumes and the masters of their own race, if I call them. So they are here to roast some product resumes out there. And I feel that today is the best time to roast those resumes because we have been getting so many requests from people for more resume roast, and we have been having like there are so many people who submitted their resumes for this. So I hope you guys are ready. And if you are ready, you can just say hi in the chat section, and you can say ready in the chat section because let's get ready to roast some resumes. Over to Shubhendu.
Thank you, Prakash. Before I start, let me introduce my good friend Rashmi. So I know Rashmi for almost close to 10 years. We have done a lot of things together. We have brainstormed about how do we build products, how do we promote startup and entrepreneurship in India. So we've done a fair share of work, so we know each other very well. So we know what is our strength. So what we have decided is that, as usual, I will try to make the jokes, try to make it funny. But as we always say, resume roasting is a learning experience. That's why we have got an expert like Rashmi, who has been the product guy for almost 10 years now, built companies, worked with brands like Careem, Thoughtworks, and now he is VP of products of Drinkprime, a product that I use myself for the last 3 years. It's a subscription-based product where you get water, right? I mean, who would have thought of a subscription-based product for RO water, right? But they've done it, and they've done it very well. We use it, so we love the product. So he's the right person to do roasting of a resume. So he'll play the good part. He will actually tell you the right tips on how to make product resumes, be it a business analyst or a data analyst or an APM or a PM, as he has done so many interviews. I'll try to play the bad part, which I've done it a couple of times. We have Prakash today. He's feeling very chilly in Gurgaon, right? It's very chilly there. So he'll play the ugly part. Let's see how it turns out, how the roasting is going to happen. So we have, as usual, we have picked up a few resumes that had submitted for our roasting. We have tried to pick good resumes also. So you'll see some good resumes, right, Rashmi? We have some resumes which have done a decent job, some which needs a lot of roasting because they're all raw, right? They're all like cucumber. So they will need a lot of roasting. There's some which are good ones. We'll highlight that. So let's start quickly with my first resume. So let me share my screen, guys. While we are sharing the screen, please introduce yourself. I can see people mentioning in the chat that they're ready. It'll be great if you can also let us know so we can highlight some points that might be helpful for you guys, right? I hope, I think, Prakash, you are able to see my screen, right? Everybody would be able to see.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's get the roasting started. Okay, so this is our first resume, guys. As you can see, there is some picture, right? You saw a blink of a picture. We have, as usual, we have redacted the personal information. There was some picture, right? We have always spoken about don't put pictures on your resume, right? Don't put pictures. It's not your identity card. It's not your Aadhaar card. We don't need a picture. Very simple, right? Second is that I think it's probably a screenshot of some website, right? Looks like a website screenshot. So and that too, it's a 2-page resume, right? With a lot of information and some again place where I can do some rough work. I can put some notes, right? Is it for these notes where I can put some notes? So we don't need this space, right, Rashmi? I mean, what is the use of this space? What do you think?
Hey, Subhendu, thanks for inviting me first. So let's get down to this. I think you've given a great introduction about me. I just want to like to add one thing. It was you who introduced me to the Drinkprime team way back when you started using the product. I think you were one of the first 10 customers for Drinkprime, and I was among the first 20. And I
Yeah.
was a customer first, and I then became an advisor, and then I am working full time at that. So it's been a great journey, and thanks for getting connected.
My pleasure.
And good to do this together.
Yeah.
So if you can scroll, the white space, I can understand why this is coming up here in general, the way it is prepared. But if you can scroll up to the top, I would like to point a few things on the top as well. So when I'm looking at a product management, data, business analyst resume, I'll start with very simple things. It's like what you have done in a summary thing, and probably highlight the things that you have done well enough in the companies that you have either interned or work on the projects that you have done, right? While that is kind of presented here, it is way down in the towards the second half of the page, internship and projects. I would ideally like to bring it up to the top, right? And when we do that, I like one part about this thing is like it's not too descriptive on each of the things. There are 3 points for each and every item, but then 3 points, 4 points for everything also makes it very long, right? Highlight the ones which are important with respect to product management or the areas of product management. Highlight those things, and others you can just give one pointer out there for each and every. You don't have to give me the entire project definition here, right? Or what you did in each and everything. If you can highlight the one, that would be curious enough, raise my curiosity enough that, okay, I need to talk about this thing with the candidate. And when we talk about that, you can elaborate on that part as it goes ahead. So that gives you a talking point. But if you write out everything here, it kind of becomes a redundant thing to talk about, and we start going detail into different topics, and it may not gel well then. Now coming down to, so I can see a lot of section which I would not like to see in the main section, right? For example, the education skill sets, I can put it into a side panel on the right and move there. If a side panel comes in, all these white spaces in the center will go away, right? There's a lot of white spaces in the center or on the second half on the vertical side. That all will go away. So it will look a little more compact. And then again, that would kind of take away the white space, blank space on the bottom part of the resume as well. I think this is a fresher's resume or a beginner's resume, so it is very well could be concise into a single page, like you said. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's a debate that I always feel, right? Like 1 page, 2 page, but with a fresh graduate or let's say a couple of years of experience, there's not enough to write. Right? That's what I think. I mean, it's simple. You don't have enough to write, so don't make it too long. Right? So make it simple so that people don't spend. Anyways, I think when you do interviews, I believe you'll not see a lot of. You don't have time to see the resume for a longer duration. Right? You'll skim it. Right? And when you're doing it, you want the highlighted points. As simple as that.
So here is that, right? So when even before I reach the interview stage, I have to first screen that resume. And I have got about 10, maybe maximum 15 seconds to screen it. Yeah. If I cannot get the gist out of that in 10 seconds, I'm already past that. And believe me, we get such a lot of rubbish resumes that I've got a very click savvy person, next, until I get, oh, this is something, I get it. And the moment I start seeing that I have to find stuff I am looking for, it's always already a negative connotation in the back of my mind that, hey, I'm already decided, okay, I need to move forward here. And this kind of gave me, although the profile looks good, but I already had, when I saw this, I said, okay, what is that I'm looking for? I could not find it in the first glance. I had to keep looking. By that time, I'm already, something has triggered in my mental thing, okay, I need to see the next one here. I don't even know if this is making sense.
Yeah. And also, I think what I see is these guys spend a lot of time in making the Tinder profiles look better than their resume. But that is what they need to also understand, right? That finding a job, like I mentioned, right? You got connected to Drinkprime, and that's the matchmaking, right? I mean, if you want a good matchmaking to happen, right? Like Rashmi mentioned, if you want recruiters, hiring managers to see your resume, and you are hearing from the horse's mouth, right? He's saying that 15 seconds maximum. So don't do 2 pages, just do 1 page. And I personally like, I think, two colors, right? Use 2 colors, like text color and maybe a little bit of highlight, not more than that. This resume has 3 colors, but that's fine, I think, right?
See, while I like that the sections should be highlighted, but this color is kind of, at least for me, maybe I'm a little too old for these things, but it kind of pinches me in the eye, saying that why am I looking at a social media site, right? And believe me, I'm tired of social media sites.
Exactly.
So don't make the resume a social media site, please. I'm already tired of all the blues and greens that I see on social media.
Everything is blue, right? LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. Instagram was also blue for some time, most of the time. Now they've changed it to look more vibrant. But most of the brands are blue. In fact, we are also blue. Rashmi Skillenza is also blue. And my background is also blue. Can't help it. But yes, one thing that I think there is a question, we can take questions from the crowd, that Khushbu is asking, like, how many projects should we mention, right? Let's say I am a fresh graduate and I've done few internships, few projects. I have seen resumes with 10 projects and they are just in third year of engineering. Okay. So what is the limit? And there should be some number, right, that you as a hiring manager would like to see, but you should not be overrun by seeing so many projects.
So it is not only about the number of projects here, but also how you put across, how you present the project, right? So now, if we go to the detail of presenting each and every project in like what happened in the project, and kind of, I know everyone feel proud that I did 10 different projects and here are all the things I did in the project. But as a hiring manager or as a person I'm trying to do interview, I don't have time to go through all of them, right? So I would always suggest that pick 3 of them which you are very proud of, where you have done a lot of work relevant to the job profile that you're seeing. Highlight that. And at the end, also mention about the other projects which you have also worked on as pointers, which could be talking points if the interviewer wants to talk about those also in detail. But that will give you enough point. It's like again a teaser to show the interviewer that I've worked on all these things, but don't bore the interviewer saying that I've done so many things, I'm great, right? So that's the balance between both of them. My thumb rule is 3 profiles, 3 jobs is good enough to start with. If you cannot demonstrate that you are good fit in 3, you cannot do it with 5. You cannot do it with 4. You cannot do it at 10.
Yeah, makes sense.
So 3 is good enough. After that, make it concise, make it short, just to present the information out there, and you can talk about that if it moves forward.
Yeah. I think you're right. I mean, if you can't sell yourself with 3 projects, how will you do it with 5, right? I think that's right. It's like being an iPhone versus a cheap Chinese phone, right? Chinese phones have all the features, but people will still iPhone is still aspirational, right? They always have very little features, but people still love iPhone, and I love iPhone. So I think that's right, guys. 3 is a good number. Let's probably start with 3 to 5 in between. That should be enough. Even if you've done 10 projects, only pick 3 which you think is of high impact, right? So one thing that I see here, Rashmi, is personally I don't like extracurricular activities in resume, and that too things that do not impact the job directly. I mean, this is good. I like that somebody has done cleanliness in the society, but I'm looking for a product intern or a product analyst role, right? I don't want to see something which it's just taking space. For me, I feel that, okay, this person does not have a lot to write, so they have put any random stuff, right? Reading books. I mean, please don't write reading books. So I think hobbies is something that people should just remove from the resume.
Yeah, I think this was, so I remember this thing was taught to us in the 2000 when I started doing a job then, that you write about your hobbies, you write about extracurricular activities, that will give you extra brownie points. Maybe then it would have been working, but I would have sprint through around 200, 300 resumes, product resumes in the past 4 months. And I have not, I don't remember a single one I have seen extracurricular activities or hobbies, and I have said, he's having this hobby, so I like to talk to him, or I'll talk about him, right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't happen. Instead of that, what could happen? What could do is, if you have volunteered something in an organization or in something which is again relevant to the job, that would be helpful. But hobbies, extracurricular activities, for me personally, I do not have the time to look at them, to be honest.
Yeah, true.
And neither have I, all the interviews I have done, I've never spoken about them yet. I have spoken to them in some cases when we go way further down the line, but I think I haven't seen that a lot happening either here.
Yeah, right. I mean, these are things relevant for Tinder, right? So please put it on Tinder, not on your resume. We don't have time for these things. So, Prakash, any ugly thoughts in your mind?
I feel today we live in an age of minimalism, and I feel that is something people should abide by. And speaking of Tinder and Hinge, that is also too much information in today's world. I feel that there are many people who say that we don't want too much information about you, even on personal websites. So I feel people should cut down to showing what they really have done and what they can actually show you and reflect you in that short span of time. So that's what I feel and what I've learned from you.
So I'd like to add one more point. So when it comes to product management or anything related to product management, one of the key criteria about product management is to be able to convey your message in a crisp and clear manner, right? Now, any extra information will take space, will take bandwidth, will take this thing, right? So if you see on the right-hand side on the dates, it's very particular about a date of 3rd of December to 31st of January 2019.
Yeah.
I have got absolutely no clue why. What will I make a sense if it was started on 3rd of December versus a 5th of December or a 10th of December? I've got no understanding on that. I've got no point on that, right? So when you're trying to convey, one of the very, very prominent aspects of product management is how are you communicating things? How concise are you? How clear are you? If you are doing more stuff, more junk stuff, it is always a negative. That means you will not be able to talk to your teams properly. You will be able to, you will take, explain a 5 minutes, you'll be taking a 20 minutes time to explain a 5 minutes, which is not needed. So those are something also I would lose them.
Yeah. So, Rashmi, we saw this in a last roast. I don't know why people do this. It just looks like a Make My Trip or a Booking.com website. I stayed in this company or I worked in this company from this time to this point. That's not. I think months is fine. There's too much information which is of no value, right? And also, there is one mistake which is like attention to detail, right? Like product people are going to build product which users are going to roast, right? Right, Rashmi. That whatever you build, the absolute roaster of all the products that we build as product managers or founders are our users. They are going to kill us. They will write on Twitter. Yeah. So if you're not detail oriented, then you'll get roasted, right? So for example, here this person has written seminars, trainings, workshops, all in plural, but there is only one thing to show, right? So it's not needed. And this is a virtual experience, right? What is virtual experience? Right? I don't understand. This is a new thing coming up where they get experience, right? Is it like some pravachan that they go through? I don't know.
So they open it for one day and they show like it's basically they show that what they have done. It's like I just watched the YouTube video and it was an experience. So and I feel Indians are like कि थोड़ा extra कर देते हैं कि नहीं तो कुछ रह ना जाए. We have this thought कि मम्मी लोग भी when they put something कि टिफिन में extra pack कर देंगे या कुछ ऐसा कर देंगे. They go out of their way and they just do it extra. तो वो resumes में भी it comes the same way.
सब्जी खरीदने जाते हैं तो यार भैया please extra धनिया extra मिर्ची दे दो. It's like that. It's like so I think if this person feels that this is of a valuable experience, don't put it here in the internship, right? If you have got any value, you should not put it. This is not seminar, training, or workshop. It was probably an internship, virtual internship. So ये होना चाहिए था. And this is also achievement. I can see there are two kinds of. There is scholarship and there is again achievement here, right? You can club it. Keep one, right? One page. What we have always said, just do one page. I think that is there, and don't do this mistake. I've seen this, Rashmi, in a lot of places. Present मतलब ये यहाँ पे date floating होना चाहिए ना. तो यहाँ date तो नहीं डाला. And then this is fine. I don't think यहाँ पे reflection आ रहा है कि this person is interested as a product person, right? ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. Looks like more of a machine.
ये तो product का दिख ही नहीं रहा है skill set से बिल्कुल भी actually.
Exactly. So वो है कि if you and what I also suggest, Rashmi, is that if people are looking, because I can understand बच्चे हैं college में, they are confused, they have not found the meaning in the life. तो अभी वो लोग soul search कर रहे हैं, and they want to see if they can become a product manager, a data scientist, a software engineer, या community manager. So they try a lot of things, and that's fine, right? I mean, we all have tried things. But one thing that I suggest is कि यार resume फिर customize कर लो ना. जैसा जो रोल के लिए डाल रहे हो, एटलीस्ट वो रोल के लिए तो कस्टमाइज कर लो.
Correct.
Right? Like एक प्रोडक्ट के लिए कर रहे हैं तो highlight product thing. If you've done some data science projects and you are applying for data science, then do that, right? And also, I think Rashmi would love to hear how do these guys start putting numbers if they are looking for product, right? यहाँ पे, for example, let's see this one. Probably यहाँ पे that person could have done something on the number side, right? The impact side, right? How do they position impact? We'll probably, I think there are some resumes that with few impact, if not a lot. Maybe we can highlight those for everybody's benefit.
Correct. I'll cover that point in the probably in the next resumes as I see. This is a internship, I think, or a very fresher one. So I'm giving him or her that a benefit of doubt that okay, you are probably not there yet. But I'm really particular about something else apart from just the concise bit I said. But communication, concise, not putting anything extra. Don't put junk. Give the right information on the top so that I can read that through is very important for product management or any product role, because that shows your clarity of communication, your clarity of thought. If that is not showing, it is a negative, if not a red flag, at least a yellow flag for me.
Yeah. कर दिया मैंने येलो इसलिए. Like basically we don't need the dhania and mirchi. Dhania mirchi नहीं चाहिए. Please give us the real stuff, right? Don't beat around the bush. Okay, so let me go to the next one. Prakash, what was the next one?
The sequence we are following is resume 3 right now. So we'll have resume 3 with us.
Okay, resume 3 then. We'll go there. Cool. Yeah. So resume 3 is a little more experience. So we have a good mix today. Actually, we have kids from still in college. We have few years of experience. We have decent amount of experience. I think 10, 11 years of experience, and fresh graduates. So that's a good mix for everybody. So there's a lot to learn today. I think I can improve the formatting. I don't need the logo of the company. It does not look good at all. Right? As a product manager, I think design is also something that with that years of experience, a little bit of design sense is necessary, right, Rashmi? What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. So, like we say in the classic example of product management, right? There are 3 areas of a confluence of all 3 areas. That's like design, engineering, and business. These days, I think there's a confluence of 4 areas: design, data, engineering, and business. Right? Data plays a very important role as well. Now, the basic sense of design always helps in building great products. Even if you have got a UI team or a design team, you still need to be able to communicate with them that what is that you're looking at, right? That said, this is actually a relatively far better, I think, with the experience that shows up again. Because the first thing I would like to go through is the summary and the areas of expertise that they're saying. And this is coming very close to what a product management is needed. When you say product ownership, budget management, backlog prioritization, all those are the right terminologies and the things that are looked up. So For example, if I am working in a startup, then I would like to have product managers who understand the basics of agile, right? That is how they can manage the team, agile management and product ownership. So that is very good. There are some business things shown up like for CRM, Salesforce. This is a domain expertise which helps if I'm trying to hire in that area. If you are not applying for that, I would be a little. I'm not sure if I'll look into CRM and see how to make different stuff. And then there are little more areas or expertise which I would like in general for product management, but this is a good to start with. The summary and the areas of expertise is good to start with. The professional experience, when the section comes here, this is where I am a little all over the place right now. And I'll again stick to the same thing. If you're not able to explain me what you did in 3 points, you cannot explain to me in 10 points. And as a product manager, if you're not being concise enough to explain to me, okay, what were the 3 best activities or things that you have achieved, that's not there. That's one. Second part here is I see there are some KPIs metrics, but it is spread all over the place, right? The first point doesn't have a KPI or a metric. The second point has a KPI or metric, but I am not sure if increasing from 2.4 to 2.6% through many experience, which is probably at Dell level, it will be a very big numbers. But I would like to see a different way to present that. 2.4 to 2.6 doesn't show very big directly, right? I can say, okay, what was the improve, right? What when you say increased conversion, what was the revenue impact on that? What was the conversion? Just not the conversion percentage, how much did the profitability or anything else change, right? Because of that thing. If you can present that, that would be a better number. But again, everything else is looking very, very textual, very, very detailed to me. And it doesn't convey, if you cannot convey in 3 points, I will not be able to read all the 10, I don't know how many points are there, 10 or 15. Yeah, I will not read through all of these to understand. This, if I'm looking at a product profile, probably I will go through and give a deeper look. Yeah. But I'm still having a jittery feeling like, okay, should I have to read through all of these and try to talk to them? It's a lot of work. And I'm not sure if I can do that for all of the, and it is not just for the first one, right? It's there for all the experiences that detailed. And this is too much writing.
Too much writing, yeah. Also, what I feel, Rashmi, is if I take any standard product management JD, it will talk about this. Establish roles and responsibilities. Establish the product, whatever, right? Prioritize. Set up a team, mentor. So what this person has done is that change the tense, right? From established to established, right? So I think the resume should not look like it's just copy pasted from the roles and responsibility of what the initial job was, right? I think the impact, what the X, Y, Z, right? I did X and there was Y impact, right? I probably, for example, this one, I would want to understand this. That okay, did you do a landing page optimization? Did you change, let's say we move from, did you change the technology, right? Sometimes maybe if you move to React or some good front-end framework, websites become faster and there is a conversion. But increased conversion rate of what, right? Is it buying of the e-commerce or is it people just signing up, right? I think that conversion is something which is necessary, right? Whether it's just sign-ups on the website or it was buying of the product, right? Right? What was the conversion? So if that is not there, I'm not able to understand that such a senior guy is not able to articulate what he has done in the company, right? That becomes a red flag for me.
Yeah. So okay, I think it was like over 10 years of experience, right? How many years of experience is this profile is having? Can you go to the top also? I think there's summary defined over there. Started with 10. Okay, so about 10 years of experience, 10, 11 years of experience. Yeah, so that total experience is not showing in the summary, but I agree. See, like I said in the last one, the thumb rule is as a product manager, you have to be able to convey your message in a crisp and a clear way, concise and a crisp way. So that's important. While it shows part of it towards the top, while we progress down, it loses that aspect. That's number one. The number two, what I'm looking at a product manager when I look is like how how are they interpreting metrics and how are they presenting metrics in the work they've done, right? So it is not about what you have done as a product manager, but why did you do that, right? That's very, very important. And that end goal or the result of why is what leads to the difference between a good product manager and an average one in general. So let's say if I'm saying I led the, I think here you're saying work with, to participate and provide constructive feedback in daily scrums, planning meetings, sprint reviews, and retrospectives with the team. This is BAU. I don't have to read through this, but if you are going to present me with something, then you have to tell me what all did you, what was the end goal or the end business impact that you did. As a product manager, our main ownership is on the business impact, not just to build a product out there, right? But why are you building the product? And that has to show through. Unfortunately, apart from that one point where it's saying increased conversion of Dell.com, everything else doesn't give me any information about any metrics that has moved. And even in that, it is not clear enough like what change happened there. So that concise, crisp definition is missing. And the KPIs are missing here.
And also, I don't like this logo thing. So we don't need the logo, right? I mean, it hardly matters. We know the brands. Some of them are pretty famous brands, so we don't need the logo, right? So let's say if we go a little below, design has to improve. This looks like a like 1.0 website, right? So the problem is that as a product manager, I, like you said, right, three scoops, right, or let's say now 4 scoops, like a Sunday, right? Data, design, business, technology. So if those 4 scoops are there in my Sunday, then the design is missing, right? Then I think about like if I'm looking for, if I'm a consumer product, like a B2C product, for me it will become a red flag, right? The person has to have some design sense. They have to at least build a decent resume and present a decent resume, right? I think that is missing.
Correct.
2 pages is fine, I guess. 10 years of experience, 2 pages is still okay.
It is okay. 2 pages okay, but like I said, the definition, the description of each and everything is too long.
Yeah.
Right. Even one which was done 7 years back, there is a 10-pointer over there, and there is something missing in between. The previous work is missing altogether. Every point is missing there.
Yeah.
So it's not consistent. It's not giving me the right knowledge, and it's giving like every information which is there, and probably not able to pick up what is important here.
True. And also, when I see somebody as a founder of a company, tried for almost a year and a half, I would love to understand, because as they say, right, the CEO is the first product manager. So as a founder, what role did you play in the product thing, right? If it's not there, then this person is not very confident, or you can say happy about that experience. If you're not happy, that's why you're not mentioned. You have done something in that 1 year. That becomes a red flag. Those 2 lines where there is no description, I can understand this is okay. This is very old, but still this is not that old. This is 5-year-old. This is a founder thing. What was Data Insights doing? Was it analytics product that we were building, right? Data science product, anything. So that thing, when it misses, and when people don't feel very proud about their own work, that becomes a red flag, right? We don't like that much, right? Why is the person hiding something? You know that suspicion comes into mind.
So good point there, Subhendu. Hiding, I would not use the word hiding per se, but I agree what you are saying, that I would like to learn more about the personality here. When I also personally like about founders and entrepreneurs, as product managers are, founders have been some of the best product managers are founders. So I would like to know what did they do and what did they learn from that. Even if it's a failure, I have failed in my startups as well. But what did I learn from that startup? What did I learn from that experience, and how can I apply those learnings elsewhere? So that becomes a very important thing to look into.
True. So this is, I think, first thing that to summarize, impact is something that is still missing from the resume. Even if 10 years of experience, if the person, if he or she is actually seeing the roles, please think about the impact that you have put in all the years of experience and make it short, right? 3 to 4 points per a job role would be enough. One thing, since we are on the resume and this is something that you liked and I also personally like, there is one question that we can pick from the audience is when you are mentioning about a skill, right? Do you actually also give a rating to it, like a self-declared rating, like 3 out of 5 star or 4 out of 5 star? Does that help for you as a hiring manager to take decision?
So I have done that. I like that in general, but not if there are 15 different skills listed out there. Not for all of them, obviously.
Yeah.
If again that comes in to showcase that how confident are you in the areas that you think your expertise is in. So let's say when we say that there's a backlog prioritization, which is very important for a product management, how confident are you in backlog prioritization? And if you're showing that over there, then do demonstrate or back it up in the resume while you are giving the points over there, right? Again, so there are many key areas in product management when we come into that. I think for an experienced resume like this, you're looking at a little higher role, right, or a little more senior role in general. And if you're looking at a senior role there, I will actually go ahead and do some of these things, like product ownership. While it is there, it is a given for product management. So 2 points which are redundant at product ownership and product management goes out, right? Just because of the seniority of this role, right? So statistics planning is fine, budget management is fine. Backlog prioritization, I'll again start having a point. If you're going to, if you're looking at a individual contributor load, then that is important. But if you're looking at a management role or team management role, that becomes. But backlog prioritization may not be as much necessary to showcase here. Maybe something else, people leadership. How are you managing cross-functional cross-functional stakeholders? All those becomes important as we go ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. True. And also, like you said, right, I've just done a little visual play with what your feedback. These are obvious, right? These are given. When you're applying for a product management, that has to be the skill, right? There is one thing that is missing. Is what are the product management tool sets that this person is doing, right? When that becomes it's there a little bit here, but I don't know whether it depends on what kind of company is also the person applying, right? I mean, Rashmi, while we are at it, if you can give quick, like 2, 3, like a rapid fire, 3 points when you are applying for a startup to focus, and 3 points when you are applying for a larger company, right? You have worked in both, right? You have been a founder, you worked in.
Correct. So, so when it comes to startups, what I have found the best, again, startups are like early stage startups. Early stage startups are more horizontal oriented roles, right? Where you have to solve problems across multiple different areas or multiple different functions. So how is the breadth becomes very important. And how have you been able to manage that breadth becomes very important. When it comes to corporates or startups which are at this thing, you will actually go and manage a single area of a thing. Even if you're a head of product, you probably even at a level of a Swiggy or a Flipkart, you will be a head of product of XYZ. So it's like a vertical oriented deep. So how deep can you go? How did you go deep? That becomes very important. So if you're applying to a bigger company, the depth and the details matter. If you're applying for a startup, the breadth and the experimentation culture and how actually you went about and innovated and these things becomes very important.
Good. Yeah, that's a great feedback, guys. Please keep a note of it. Let's move to the next one. Prakat, what's the number? 4? I think it was 4, right? Yes. Okay, yeah.
I was on mute. Okay, yeah.
No problem. I just remembered it's 4. And
this is my favorite one, guys. This is my favorite one. I love this. I mean, whoever is this guy, please tell me. I don't want him to design my home. I don't want him to do my decoration in my home.
Yeah,
I
I think
absolutely don't.
yeah, we can send this resume to LiveSpace or Homelane for interview.
Man, I like the gradient on the left hand side, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And the
probably that was a photo over there.
Yeah, it had a photo over there.
I mean, and there is a proper like a bevel, and there is solidification of the frame with gray gradient, so it looks like some keep frame which people give in the weddings, right? Which you want to pass on to other people. You don't never use this frame, right? Pass it on to other people. अभी दिख रहा है ये. It's not
The last
needed.
time I had seen a resume like this was in the year 1999.
Yeah. And this person is still in college, right? I think yes. I mean,
Yes,
guys,
yes.
this is 2021. All right, the corona is also evolving, so you guys should also evolve. This is
So I think I'll go soft because there's this probably he's a CS student. Will be graduating in the year 2022, but there's a learning experience. Again, there are few feedback which I given in the past, and if you're applying for a product management role, it would be helpful that you spend some time to understand design basics of
Yeah.
how not to at least not look ugly. While this looks good for kids, it comes across as really amateurish, and I would absolutely not consider for a product management role, even without reading anything.
Yeah.
I will not even go to reading anything. The moment I see this, I'll just skip through.
Prakash, what was this? I mean, what was redacted?
This was personal information. Just
Wow.
just like, so if we go to parks and if we go to museums, if you see, there are photos of people, what they did in their life, where you can find them, how
Yeah.
much they have lived. Yeah, so it was basically like that. So they add a photo and how you can find them and where you can find them.
Yeah. This person loves green, I guess, right? There's so much green out here. Like so much green. Like different shades and hues of green. You can see. Like amazing green.
And the second page actually gets better than the first one. So first is actually divided into two sections. The second
Yeah.
page is two sections, but then the entire section is full. There's a panel on the left, but then the entire section is there. Like this, like I said, this was the last I seen. This was in 1999. There's a pre.com era websites which if you remember the static website which you used to browse and get to before the Google.
NetBeans used to open this kind of thing.
Correct. It looks like that. We need to evolve from there.
It had a music to it when we used to connect D2 T2. It used to make so this kind of websites open up.
Rashmi, if you see, the person's skill is actually designing, website designing, portraits, doodle art. So like a creative person. But this
lot needs to. He or she has to improve a lot on those areas.
Please don't put it on interest. Right, we'll be directly questioning. And can again, if the person says this is the person knows website designing, portrait sketching, doodle art, and this is what the person is doing, and this is 1990s art and design. So I think this person is time traveled, right?
I see over there in Python it has been written 100%. Even Udo van Rossum hasn't written 100% Python in his resume.
I know what has happened. Okay. So this thing has been designed in Google Sheet or Excel. ठीक है. And उसके बाद ये font अलग है. ठीक है, ये font अलग है, ये font अलग है. And then the person has actually created a histogram. ठीक है. The horizontal, not the vertical histogram. Horizontal histogram is an option on Google. And when he or she was writing these x-axis, development guy not there.
I really wonder how people can be 100% in something. Like nobody can write, they can be 100% in Python. Even the founder of Python says that there are many things which he hasn't discovered, and so. I feel that is a big flaw in terms of if you're writing a resume as a kid. as a student.
Yeah, this is what we don't need, right? I mean, the star rating is fine, but this is please don't do this. I mean, this nobody is going to see your resume. I mean, does not matter at all. This, I mean, others like software. What is the software? Have you created the software, or I mean, it's not-
Some software made in some land.
and these are all like standard. I mean, Rashmi, if you remember, like 20 years back, the engineering college kids' resumes would have a common project, right? Library management system. Things have not
Those
changed.
would have been bought from outside, you mean, to submit during their period?
From a third party vendor who sells it for 5,000 rupees, I guess, right? On CD. Now they
भैया
want
आपका दिया हुआ कोड चल नहीं रहा है.
Yeah, so these are projects which are like that. I mean, there is no description of the project. And why is interest? I mean, if you have put interest also, you should put it last, right? I don't want to see your interest. I want to see what you have done as work. So software, तो at least ये project का description दो ऊपर रखो. And certification July 20, August 29. Need the year. There is no point. So I guess lot to improve here, right? And student intern, I think intern is always student. So there is,
I think this is a college internship, I believe.
Yeah.
University of Amsterdam, Coursera.
No, that is a Coursera course, or I feel because Coursera doesn't give any internship. Like there is a and in June 2020 they haven't rolled out internships, I'm pretty sure. So
this is misleading. You're right. This is misleading because this is a course, learn statistics from scratch to kickstart my career in data analytics. Yeah, so this is an online course that somebody has done. This person
and DUCAT is a coaching. DUCAT Noida, Uttar Pradesh is a coaching. It's an IT kind of institute. So yeah, it's a coaching. So.
मुझे लगा गाड़ी है गाड़ी हटा दिया गाड़ी नोएडा में मतलब मुझे लगा कि जो एक्चुअल गाड़ी डुकाटी है नोएडा डुकाट के नाम से दिखता होगा Oh, this is a coaching institute, like a local one.
Yeah. It's like NCR people know about this.
Oh, okay. So, that's very famous.
पूरी कोचिंग में किसी को सेंटिमेंट एनालिसिस नहीं आता है, कुछ भी लिखा हुआ है.
Yeah, guys, please. This is. I think this is not good. If you have done this as part of course, then don't mention it as work experience. So please start focusing on work experience. And that's not good. People will roast you like this, or maybe in a more bad way, right? So, this is pretty much not needed at all. क्या बोलूं मैं बताइए?
How to not make a resume में this can go. We can just mail it to people. How to not do it. This is how you should not.
Yeah, exactly. We can do a reverse series, right? What not to do. Please don't do this. This is not good. Deve LOPM. What is this? Telling me this is quite funny. Okay, let's move to the next one. I think we have a lot to cover. Okay, this is fine. I think I kind of like this resume, but what do you say, Rashmi?
Yeah, I like this resume as well. There are a few things. I think if you look at the work experience, it is defined well enough. 4 points of things that we have done. Setting up KPIs, highlighted a few words which is important, which again draws my attention. And these are the right words which is getting in there, right? So, for example, providing insights on product utilization. I think data analyst, business analyst roles are well defined here. This comes across as a good, well-defined resume. There are a few points to improve, obviously, but I think this is I'll start passing through.
Yeah, if you're looking for a kind of a business analyst or a data analyst, couple of years experience, like a junior guy, this might filter the first criteria, right? I don't know how the interviews might go.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I will again go ahead again. If this was a data analyst or others, I might forgive them for this. But for if I'm looking for product management, I'm still looking at a lot of redundant things and not being able to convey this better, right? Roles and responsibilities, achievements, roles and responsibilities, achievements. I think that section, those things can be taken off. I mean, when you are putting up the 4 things on the top, those are what you did, right? You don't have to tell me what those are there. It's kind of taken. And achievements columns, I think is good. But again, so in a product one, focus on the KPIs, focus on communications, how are you communicating that, and focus on the key aspects of product thing, right? So what is that the company is looking for? Now, there are a few areas like, so one thing very important about product management, like the third thing which I'd like to add was like, one thing is very important is how are you doing your prioritization? Are you showing up the prioritization properly? For a young product managers, prioritization is really, really key. The second important point about a product management, again, for a beginning product management role is how are you working with your engineering team? What kind of tools, what kind of processes, agile and others are doing, and you can kind of describe that. And the third one is cross-functional leadership. So the product manager, by definition, are leaders. You have to work across different teams to be able to influence them, convince them of what you're doing and how you're executing your projects on the ground, be it on a website or be it there, but it has to be executed there, right? So that's the third one. So those 3 needs to come out when you're doing a beginner way of product management. And when I'm hiring for one, I actually see if they have shown any of those demonstrated skills to be able to move forward.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So one thing also is when you have some years of experience, these 2 things hardly matter, right? When they're high school grades, and also to second decimal. I mean, I understand you're a data science guy. You love data, but to the second decimal is little like overdoing it, right? It's 70.39. Right? So I think this is not necessary. You can round it off just make it 70. It's fine. You can make it 83, 92. But this is not necessary. I don't like seeing high school grades after like 2 years of experience. This person has 2 years of experience, right? And then has joined school, right? B school now this year. So this is good. I think there's a good. It looks like a very structured resume because of probably the B school training, and it is good. But this is not necessary. I think people should avoid this. My opinion. I think the one pager is good, right? One pager is something that we all love.
Correct.
This is like a Sharma ji's son's resume. So this is kind of he did 2 years of experience. He went to a B school. He did engineering.
कि पहले कर लो फिर भी कर लो फिर शादी हो जाती so but that's good. I think this is one of the good resumes I have seen. So every roast, almost 300, 400 people are submitting their resumes. So our team will go through all the resumes. We'll pick up some resumes. We do pick up good resumes. So this is one of the good resumes that I've seen in the last few days. So I think good job. Whatever Rashmi has given feedback, please mention it. And then I think you are good to go. Best of luck. I think you will be sitting for summer placements or you would have got it. So best of luck for that, right? If you're looking for a summer placement, right? I think Prakash, was there any one-liner here, like a summary of the
summary or something?
No. There was no summary. There was actually we had a logo of the institution and we had the name over there.
That is what I think the college kids do when they're in B school. They put the logo of the resume just to flaunt it. I've done that myself. so karte hain. But Rashmi, correct me if I'm wrong. One liner would have been great, right? Because this person is a more data-driven person, and if that person is looking for product management role, so there is that the good one strong point going, right? So if the person can tell me a data-driven product manager or something like that, I think I can get the gist of this person in like one or couple of lines, right? I think that is missing in the resume.
See, like I said, right, for a product management or any product role, how are you able to convey in a concise and a crisp manner is really important, and summary plays a very important role over there. I at least see that as a metric to see how they are able to connect to the role that they have applied for. Right?
True.
If they are one thing I have found very clearly, and I don't think we have covered here, is like many people who are trying to look for product management start thinking in terms of project management. Project management and product management are two very different areas, two very different domains. And the moment I see those project management resumes, I just become sad. Like, okay, you're probably not understanding and you're applying at everything where it is there a manager role or a product or a project, and then just keep on applying, and it's like a cookie cutter for everything. So one thing which I like very important for people is give some effort to the resume or the application when you're submitting to a company. When I say effort, show that there is an effort applied there, and that effort could show up in how are you customizing those resume as a profile for that role. How are you giving a introduction of sorts to say why are you the right fit over here, and why should you be given a chance to or given an opportunity to have an interview in general. That gives a very shows that you are at least read the JD, at least read about the company, at least are going for applying that, right? And again, I would not do that for all the roles, but again, for product roles, it's very important.
Yeah. Cool. Let's move to the next one. So we'll go to the resume 7.
It's resume 1, Subhendu, resume 1, 7, and the cover letter.
Okay, resume 1. Got it.
Yeah.
So we'll just reordered a few things. Okay, this is again a single pager, quite interesting. Just a person who graduated this year, 6 months of experience.
See, I already like this person, and I would start seeing, because see, if you see, there is a lot of data-driven points there, right? I can immediately see analyze 1,000 potential this thing assigned to a while 1 billion plus tech client is not that important, but probably that's not a KPI, but that is a way to go. Then there is a KPI user retention increased by 7%, which is a decent amount percentage in the user retention. The beginning two summaries, the beginning summaries of two different things is already piquing my interest out there, right? How they have started using some KPIs. Then I would start giving some second detailed look into the profile next, right? And what I like is, like, for each and everything, there's not a longest description like we saw in the resume of all the things you've done, but you have picked the top most important ones which you feel is necessary, and then communicated that, which is really important. The structuring and profiling, how you are presenting it is can be improved, and I'll try to see if I can present one showcase how to present in general product resumes. What I like, I'm not sure about others, but I already like this person in the way, again, highlighted the keywords that you think is important. I'm not going to the detail to evaluate each and every task that you are doing, because that would be very subjective to the kind of profile that I'm hiring for, or the kind of role that I'm looking for. So I'm giving a very generic information here, but this already starts looking good here to me. There are side projects which is coming through, again, with highlights, gold letter of what is important. And there is KPI presented here. There is a concise and crisp manner of presenting things over here. And I see some notion of the key aspects of product management also showing up here, right? So altogether, I have started liking this, and I probably start looking in detail and say, okay, if the person can do so much for an internship or still before coming into the workforce, I think they do have a potential to move forward, and will be taking a serious interest on to looking deeper into those things.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Totally. I mean, I think I also like this resume a lot. And this is what we were talking, right? When somebody says I have done increased, right? So there is a number to justify that. And also there is an action that the person has taken, right? What the person has done to improve it. So I think this one line summarizes this person's ability to understand data and slice and dice it, and then go to the tech team and tell them that hey, this is what we should do. I think that is very good in the resume, and that's why when somebody like this applies to you for a, let's say, an APM role or a senior business analyst kind of a role, you would tend to put little more effort in going through the resume, right? So this is a good flow, and I like this. There's nothing to roast. This is like full, almost if not fully baked, but almost partially done resume, right? There's a little bit of scope of improvement, but nothing to roast as such, right? I like this because when people say I participated in a hackathon, right, it does not matter. I mean, if there is something there to show top 10, top 3, top honorable mention, otherwise don't mention it. It's okay. I mean,
correct.
competitions happening globally, we do it. There are other platforms doing it. To be honest, if you've not done a considerable rank or something there, don't mention it. It does not matter, right? I think this is good. There is one line which I like. It shows that I cannot. Let me see if I can show it. So there is one line which says, "Avid follower of startup news and blogs." Right. This is just one line. I can understand this person's personality, and this is fine. And startup news, blogs, sports enthusiast, tech lover. That's it. And people tend to write interests like 5 points. I think this is what people miss. This is something worth mentioning.
Correct.
Just one line, right? Very simple one line. You can understand the person. That too, like below. Right? The last line. Last not, but the least line, right? This is good. I think this is fine. This person can avoid this also, which I typically say if you have some years of experience. But because this is the first job, and the resume was created recently, so it's okay. But if you're applying for serious job change, you can avoid this. This is fine, right?
Correct.
Cool.
So there is one area to improve here visually. If I have to say present in the presentation, which we'll try to show at the end of the presentation, what is a kind of a structure that I like to see in a resume, how it is divided in general. Yes, and that is something that will be applied for all the different resumes in general.
Yeah. Somebody is asking, please comment on the Bain part a bit more, right? So the Bain part, this is the Bain. What is happening is Bain is a consulting company that would be a client, right? The client who's looking at buying some potential acquisition, right? In a telecom. As a telecom client trying to buy an IoT company, very simple, right? So that is what the person is going to do. So this person's job is to analyze certain kind of IoT companies and find the target potential. That's it. I mean, very clear. This was the client who is a large giant who wants to acquire a company. So this is good. The person can mention like what was the points of analysis, right? I'm okay. I understand it, but if he mentions it at this time, like what was the point of analysis, right? Like revenue, IP, right? What was the basis of analysis? If that person
across how many KPIs? What are the different KPIs? What are the different metrics that you analyzed for, and how did you evaluate? That's something that you'll be adding more value.
But since I like the resume, like actually you both like the resume, we might keep that for interview questions, right? Because so this is good enough to pique interest of a hiring manager, and then obviously the interviews will decide the fate. But still, the person will for sure get a call because this one line makes a huge difference, which was missing in a very senior person's resume. Right? So that is what we are looking at. Cool. There is another question, Rashmi, while I'm uploading the next resume, is that if you have created a portfolio should we mention that in the resume? Yeah. So the question, Rashmi, is that if somebody has created a portfolio website, should that person mention that in the resume? Give a link to that resume.
So, but depends on the kind of profile that you're applying for. So, if you're applying for a design role, portfolio always is anyways an external thing that you cannot put into a profile or a resume in there. So, you tend to go outside and to show it. If you are a startup and have built a very good product or a product that you want to showcase and present, then show that. LinkedIn profile or different portfolios. Like again, I say, right? So if you're not able to, again, for product, if you're not able to show me what you have done in a page or two, where I have your attention, you will not be able to do that if you show me 10 pages of things.
Right. And Rashmi, I think the person, the last person whose resume we are roasting, the person is probably watching the show. Would you be interested to hire the person or at least talk to for an APM role?
Sure. I would love to connect with him. Isn't it's Divij, right? So isn't he kind of already studying or is out of studying? I didn't note that part.
No, graduated, has 6 months of experience.
No, it is one, I guess.
Yeah, 6. Just joined the company.
Okay, got it. Already working in analyst, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So looking for a APM role, I think there is a short of how to go there. There is a possibility, yes.
Yeah. Cool. Divij, I think I'll also keep a note. We'll try to help you out. I mean, that is why we are doing the roasting, right? So that we can serve you somewhere. That's the whole idea. So, cool. I think we are on to the last, the penultimate resume. There is one very small, not resume, a funny thing that we'll show, but this is actually technically the last resume. This is from one of my ex-team members. He was brave enough to say that, hey, why don't you roast my resume? He worked with us as an APM in our early days of Skillenza. So whatever you guys see here on the platform, that this person has worked with me on some of those features. But then, obviously, there is a lot of scope for improvement everywhere, right? So he said, why don't you roast my resume? I'm volunteering for it. So that's the last one. So I think Rashmi, you go ahead and do the roasting. I will have a little bit of bias, right? So I don't want to do anything, but I'll still give some of my points, which I have already noted.
Okay, got it. See, I'll start with. So I already like the profile because it looks very clean. I mean, and there is not too many distractions, colors, highlights, and so on. And I personally am a sucker for clean design. Like I think Prakash mentioned that this is an era of minimalism, and any as minimal as you can get is better. There are areas to improve, obviously, in terms of approach and how you are trying to present to me. Then I will look at the so one thing which is coming across is like I see one KPI coming through, like 20% to 30% increase in sales. That's catches my attention. And then there are a lot of descriptive things that you have done, but probably not showing what you achieved out of doing that. So let's say redesigned and delivered Royal Enfield end users. Why? So like I always say, product managers do things for why, not what. So it's very important to show by doing that redesigning and delivering the Royal Enfields, let's say, rides, what was the KPI or what was the end result that you were aiming for? Or you say launched Royal Enfield configurator. So that's a site. I understand you are launching a branding in this thing, but show metrics. How many people landed on the website? How was the conversion? What did you measure when you did that, right? The measuring part, the metrics part is really important when it comes to presenting. And you have worked as a product manager. If you have worked as a product manager and you have worked for like quite a few number of years, and I only see one metric, I start saying, okay, maybe he's not that metric savvy. So that's one thing that I always like to see for experienced product manager, that you have to really sell me metrics, right? And don't sell me metrics in the sense A this percentage, B that percentage. That doesn't also work, right? You have to be able to tell a story. You have to be able to present metrics. You be able to showcase the impact on the business. That's really, really important. What are the kind of features if you can combine? So let's say all these three, if you are saying that you can launched two different applications or this thing or let's say bike, which resulted in X percentage of conversion higher than the other websites. That draws my attention. Okay, yeah, when you launch that, you actually paid attention to conversion, which was probably your one key driving metric, right? Again, similarly, launch ride applications containing the user rights feature integration. While it gives me the information why, I always ask the question, and every product manager or aspiring product manager should ask the question why. Why am I going to do a change? So for the matter, even when I'm trying to change, so if you there is a famous stories out there, right? If you're trying to change the color of the button from a green to an orange, but why are you doing it? You're doing it to improve your conversion, right? So every decision that is getting made as a product manager, you're doing it for an end goal or an end goal which can be measured and which can be presented and as a win, right? Or it did not work. So I'm also fine to say that, okay, I presented it, I measured this in this metric, it did not improve, and hence we rolled back. That also gives me that confidence that you're actually measuring the data. So you'll not commit mistakes and not know that there's a mistake committed. Right? So it's very important that you're measuring each and everything. I have famous in my company. So there are people who come to me and keep saying, "Hey, Rashmi, we have got very good. We did that and it's working very well." I said, "I don't understand what is very well. Tell me in numbers." So unless and until you tell me what is good in numbers, it is not good enough for me. And I see that there is a lot of scope to improve in terms of presenting the metrics that you worked in and why did you go about doing that. That would be one. The second part I would focus, like I said, KPIs is the presentation is there. I mean, the concise and crisp presentation is there. KPIs are missing. And the third part is like, what are the different aspects of product management that doesn't come through yet? I am not able to find where I have demonstrated prioritization. I have not seen where you have demonstrated. Again, I have to find through that probably. So let me give a generic view, right? So what are your key skills that you excel at, and can you present that to me? Key product management skills, and can you present that to me? There are some 15, 20 different skills. You can very easily Google it out and find what they are. But you have to be really, really good in a few of them, and know and decent in the other ones, right? So that has to come through.
Yeah, also
I would stay there.
Yeah, the same thing, right? I mean, the numbers are missing here. If there is no numbers here. Launch corporate e-commerce platform. So the launch, if it was the launch, then there has to be wireframing, there has to be work, UX design, because it was just launched. Maybe there was no matrix to track initial days, but at least what was the feature set, right, that were created? Anything interesting there? If there's some subject.
So even then,
obviously
right?
The numbers are missing here.
Correct. So even then, let's say you're launched and you're not tracking the this thing, but when you're launching, you are launching focusing on a metric at least. Then you may not know that I'm going to measure on the conversion or on the design aspect or like the number of the length of this thing or the bounce rate. I don't know that. But what did you focus on while you're trying to launch something?
Yeah.
Right. So that becomes, so if there is no KPI, there is no way to measure success. As simple as that, right?
True. And also I feel 2-page is still because there is a lot of space here, which I don't like personally. So there is no need of 2-page, right? So if the person can put this in single page, that is good enough, right? Reduce, and also there is little bias, right? I mean, obviously this is my company, but I feel
way too long.
Yeah. You don't need it. I mean, even if I know these are all, because I can verify it in front of everybody that he has done this stuff. But when I see a resume as a third person, I see that there are only 3 points or 4 points. Here there are a lot of points. So either this person feels that he has done lot of work here and not more here, or the person is very attached to this work, right? Which in both cases is wrong. It has to be again those 3 or 4 points, right? Which was for me. If you ask me, I mean, I am the hiring. I was his mentor. So if you ask me, there are only 4 points that I will tell him to write. Right? I mean, I will remove this. Not necessary. It's a given piece. I don't want the company's description to be that long. It could be one-liner, right? I guess, Prakash, people know about us now, right? So, right? This is what I would want, because this is what we had, right? Very important. This was something which was important to us, which helped us to increase our conversion, because mobile conversions were not great for us. We worked on this. This is okay because this is something that every product manager has to do. The product manager has to get feedback from the customer. So I don't need this. This is something which was an interesting feature that we launched. This should be there, right? And this should be there. Rest, I will remove. It's not necessary. Right? So 4 points only, as almost you can say similar to what is there in the other companies. Otherwise, then it looks like there is some bias in the person's mind, right? Which is not good. This should be also reduced to 4 points with few numbers, because the person actually moved from an operations role to a product management role. So there was an internal, you can say, what do you call it, promotion, right? Internal promotion. But then this also needs to have some, there could be numbers here, because I have seen this. Otherwise, I think this is something can be done in one page. Right?
Yeah, I think that's where the formatting and the one of the good part about putting some constraints in is that it really helps you to take out the extras out and just focus on the key aspects of that you want to present, right? So when we while people may say that why is this one pager so important, why it cannot be 2 page or 3 page, I want to write stuff. It actually puts some constraints, so it pushes you to start. I mean, in a way, prioritizing, in a way, showing up what is necessary, right? And only present that, and don't talk about others. And let's say you have 100 points to present, and I'll tell you, no, don't give me 100, just give me 3. Then you'll start actually. So I think there was a saying, I don't remember the saying very well. I can write, I can talk for 1 hour for any time, but if you tell me to talk for 2 minutes, I have to prepare for that for about 3 hours for the 2-minute talk.
Yeah, exactly. The same thing.
Something similar. So it becomes really, really important when you start concising it, because it takes you through a journey to say, okay, what you did and what you have to present and how can you present in the best way possible.
Yep.
Writing 1,000, I think it was writing about a book or something, right? I can write 1,000 words very easily, but if you tell me to write a paragraph, it's really, really difficult.
True. Concise, like brevity is godsend, right? It's very difficult to achieve brevity. Right, and that's why the things which are brief and impactful are very popular, like just like TikTok videos, right? Funny and only 20 seconds, right? So that's why that's why it's a big company, because people like concise stuff, very interesting stuff. And there's some other points that I mean, you don't need to write self-designed infographics. If you have designed infographics, you just need to say design infographic. This shows that you have some design skill. Self-designed is it's not a self-driving car, right?
One word extra.
One word extra.
Format is 1 word extra.
Yeah, 1 word extra.
So, see, while I agree it's a general trend, it is even more important for a product role. Yeah. So product role is all about. So we have been hearing about that 1-pager note, which 6-pager, which is there for Amazon, right? There are some companies who have this 1-pager that if you cannot present what you want to do to the engineers in 1 page, then you cannot. You need to rework on those things, right? Exactly. It becomes really, really important to be that concise and crisp on what you're presenting. And anything extra is an extra for there. If you want to showcase that's fine. But then what kind of extra is something that we have to look into.
So there are, for example, I'm just trying to remove some of the points right here, not necessary, because I'm in the best position to give tell the person that this is what you don't need to mention, right? So also here, Rashmi, there is something that this person has missed. He has missed actually, which we also discussed in the earlier part of the roast, right? Is this was important for us. This was a matrix that was necessary. Initial days, our page was not getting loaded, but the what is not written here, right? People write what, but they don't write numbers. The person is written the numbers, but what did we do, right? There was something that we did actually to reduce the loading time. There was minification of the JavaScript. We also started looking at lighter images for the website. We were doing heavy images. And there were some things that we did which actually improved this number, right? If the person writes it, it gives also confident to the hiring manager that the person understands the product in and out, right? So this is missing. I think I would advise to write this here. What do you say?
See, so like I said again, so if you're presenting, when you're saying it could be too much when you're trying to present that, how can you again show it in a very concise manner is very important. Loading time, 50 to 50 seconds or 10 seconds is a great achievement. There are 10 or odd parameters which you can work on and to do that. So if you can say that I worked across 10 different areas, 10 different things, optimizing them to achieve the section from 50 to this thing, including XYZ, ABC, then that is good enough to show, right? And I think the tools and everything can be skipped. But again, it's all about brevity and trying to concise. So if you did 10 experiments or 10 things to improve this, how can you present that in one line and still make your point? That's the key part here, right?
Yeah, true. This is also grammatically incorrect. Let redesign website. Let the redesigning of the website, right? And so I think this point and the first point are similar. It has to be only one point, right? So if I let go of this point, which the person can actually combine with the first point, then there are actually 4 points, right? We reduced it to 4 points. 4 points with some. This was good. In fact, this is something that we still use for a lot of our clients. And then this together will be 4 points, right? So 4 points is what I would mention. And this is a role where I don't want 5 points, right? So the shorter role, it should be concise with probably 2 or 3 points, not more than that. Right? It cannot be 5, and the current role cannot be only 3 points. Does not make sense, right?
True.
Cool. So I think with the interest of time, let's move to a last thing. And Rashmi, will be great if you can quickly summarize the points post last one. And also, I'd love to hear from you, like rapid fire question, like what are the 3 books that you would recommend to our viewers if they're looking to get into product management or they just started dabbling with product management?
That's a tough one. So you already know I am more of a product manager by fire than reading books per se.
Yeah.
Is this a note that you're taking?
No, this is the cover.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is the cover letter. This is amazing. I mean, I love this one, right?
Yeah.
You're sending a cover letter with 3 lines and no formatting. I mean, all over the place. This is really looking ugly. This doesn't come across at all. This thing. So, first point about a product, about a cover letter is it is directed for that role. You are giving that effort to do that. This is a product management role for all we are saying. But this is this is a project management product letter. Okay, I now rest my case. I'm sorry. I love project managers.
You can't comment on this. Exactly. Even if you're applying for a project management, right? Please understand that cover letters cannot be like this. I mean, if you have 14 plus years of experience, it should be reflected in a cover letter, right? It has to be nice and very concise.
Correct.
This requires a lot of work. Good. And cover letters are important, as you mentioned, right? has to be customized for the role. I mean, it's a direct letter to the company that you are interested in the role. Resume can be little generic, but cover letter has to be very specific, right?
Yep.
You can please don't do this. I mean, I can.
See, this is not a notepad that you're writing something that someone will read through. I will never read through this. This is too cluttered, too amateurish for me to read a cover letter, right? So if you're writing a cover letter, take the effort, try to present it properly, try to structure it properly. If you're even if you're writing 3 lines, you can structure it into 1.5 lines. So you segregate those things, right? What you want to do, present. This is all over the place. This is not conveying anything whatsoever. And I will not go into the details of this thing.
This is a covered telegram, like we used to have, write on paper. Like there was a time that people used to write on one piece of paper. That was a telegram, I guess. It's meant for that.
And send to
or your examination copy cheat.
Yeah.
That you would tear off this thing and roll it and put it into your socks or something. Read it out. Right?
I have 14 years of experience. Shit, what did I write?
In this role, okay, so this person is customized. In this role, I can deep dive as deep as what? Marina Trench.
As deep into the tech stack, the integration patterns, the organizational capabilities and copy this thing. See, the first thing is like while it can be relevant and it may not be as relevant for tech roles, but product roles, presentations matter.
Yes, absolutely.
One key aspect of product is design. You cannot present something in a bad design and think that you'll be getting the product role because you have written all the keywords or you've done stuff. I'm sorry. I mean, so I'm not trying to evaluate the candidate here, right? Evaluating the resume here, right?
Yeah.
And if the resume or the cover letter is not having design sense, I am already rejecting it. The plain and simple reason is in most of the product roles, design plays a very important aspect, even if it is internal tools. I have seen how internal members, stakeholders struggle because of bad designed user interfaces or dashboards.
Yeah. True. I think that is what I mean. If you want to summarize today's roles, right? When you are looking for a product role, or applying for APM, business analyst, anything, right? The design of your resume is very important. The expectation, as Rashmi mentioned, from a programmer would be little less, but from a product person would be higher. The resume shows that you understand data and you understand insights, right? And as usual, the cookie cutter feedback that we always give: 1 page, right? Same font, same format, no 2-3 different formats, right? No less color. Don't use any color. Use black and white as much as possible, right? And Rashmi, anything else you want to summarize before we end the roast?
So if I can present my screen and show a kind of profile that I like in general, then I think that could be one area which I can talk about a bit more.
Yeah, let's do that. I think that is something that we did last time also. We got the person who was roasting, that person's resume, we showed it to everybody. So that'll be great. I mean, that's a good feedback for everyone.
Okay, so this is not my resume per se, but it's a profile that I had been doing and found this really, really good, right? Now, now this is what I like about 2 parts. So I have been talking about 2 sections. These are 2 sections. This linear resume is not something which is able to convey a lot or taking a lot of white spaces and not using the spaces optimally, right? The 2 section is what I like. And if you see, it's like clear. The main section over here is quite clear and what work you have done. And each and every section has 3 or 4 points and not more than some details, right? Education, additional activities in this ones, and the information, soft skills, skills like we talked about is a good part to present is something that is here, available here.
Yeah.
These are the areas, in a way, if you present it this manner. So this is steps, this is concise, this is telling me what it is, and it is coming across as really, really clean, right? If you want to play around with the bit, you can essentially get rid of these white margins over here and push these points over here so that you can do. But if you see, each and every point is written in one-liner. It's not a paragraph, right? And it's very important to be able to present it very concisely. While here it is presented in this fashion, the point, bulleted points, one-liner, to the point is really, really important. If you go and zoom into, there are actually metrics and everything presented very well as well. I just wanted to leave this with this thought. And like I said, as product management, the thumb rule is something that we can look at, like what kind of thumb rule, what does a product manager mean? So there are 4 sections: design, data, technology, and business. How are you presenting those 4 sections properly? Either design, you don't have to talk about it, but when you're presenting your resume, when you're presenting a cover letter, that shows your design sense in a bit. And then the other 3 shows kind of adds to that one. Then in product management, KPIs and the why has become really, really important. If you're not doing that, it's not. Concise and crisp presentation or communication is very important. And then what are the key skill sets and how are you doing that? Be it prioritization, be it like you speak about how did you talk to the teams, how did you go about implementing the project across engineering, how did you work with engineering in a early product management role, and then how are you working with external stakeholders across companies? Yeah, and there are few other things you can Google it out. And how did you actually work across that to implement that becomes very, very important.
Cool. Thank you, Rashmi. I think that's a great summary. 4 2x2 matrix, 4 things. Guys, please focus on that. And let us know in comments section like what kind of next roles we want to see, right? We are planning for something on design. We're planning for something on marketing. We have a surprise for you guys. I'll not disclose the lot. In a month, Rashmi, it's also a surprise for you. Okay. So I think that will be my final words. Prakash, I believe now you not feel a lot of cold, right? Because of the roast.
Yeah. I think I guess it's good now. It's so good. And thank you so much, viewers, for joining in. And if you're thinking that if we were not able to cover your resume in this online part of the series, where you'll surely get the insights from us over the offline set of series. So if you submit your resume, there are few resumes which are covered in the online part of the series, which generally our team selects. And there are also, for the rest of the resumes, you get an offline review of the same. So don't worry about it if your resume has not been taken in this online series. You will all surely get an insight for that. And thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much, Rashmi, and thank you so much, Subhendu, for making my day better.
Thank you so much for Skilinja, Subhendu, Prakash, for having me here. It was really good fun.
Hello.
Yeah,
thanks very much. Be safe, guys. The new Corona is coming. So, Hello.
Thank you. Bye,
okay,
guys.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Take
Bye.
care, guys. Yeah.